Nick, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, brother? Good.
Oh, great connection. Good to see you.
Good to see you. You're good. Oh, I've dreamt about this. Coming down to watch people train. It's brilliant. Just watch.
The burning desire that I have right now is to be successful here again, because we've missed out for too long now.
Without people like me at the club for 4 years, you probably wouldn't be in the team that you are.
I was actually 5 years old. I was actually 5 years old and coming in and seeing these fully fledged England internationals, the standards that they drove. Even if you were a young kid, you had to be at that level. The NFL players, everybody knows who they are.
Marketing.
Branded. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a billboard. You put a synthetic mesh around your valve, which brings it in, and it supports it.
So literally taped your heart up.
Taped my heart together. We lost 8 games in a row. We were like, Jesus, I think we might be a bit shit.
Welcome to Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender. From one Saracens legend to another, Nick Isiekwe.
How you doing?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I sort of forged the way for the club to what it is now.
Yeah.
Is that where they moved from where you were training?
Yeah.
And playing?
Yeah, exactly.
It was sticking up the place.
Without people like me at the club for 4 years, from 99 to 2003, you probably wouldn't be in the team that you are.
I mean, I was actually 5 years old. I was actually 5 years old. And
That's brilliant.
I'm one of the older ones now.
And what you're trying to say is
I'm just
I was a role model, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Did you actually know what rugby was when Shanks was playing?
No, I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue what rugby was probably until I was about 13.
Last year.
About last year, yeah. No, about 13, maybe 14. Like properly what rugby was, you know?
Yeah.
My first sport was always football.
Was it?
It was always, yeah. It was
Goalie?
always football. No, striker.
Striker? You're like a buff Peter Crouch.
Like a crouch, yeah.
But massive.
No, but I was a bit more slender back in the day, so I was like literally just like a crouch kind of player. But yeah, football was my first.
Until about what age?
Until 13.
Oh wow.
Until 13. So.
So
yeah.
what? So how then did rugby come about then? Was it because normally it's a friendship group and that, but all your friends were probably playing football.
I grew up on a council estate, so football was never really rugby. Rugby wasn't really like the sport that we play. And then my cousin one day was playing for Owen Farrell in St Albans.
Yeah.
In St Albans, so like it was round the corner, and I was doing nothing on a Sunday. We would play football on a Saturday with like the Watford like community project.
Yeah.
So we paid like 20p to go and play on a Saturday at Vicarage Road before the men would play.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then on Sunday I wouldn't do anything. And my mum was like, "Come on, I know you like sports. You're always out during the week to do stuff like play tennis and stuff like that." So on the Sunday, my cousin was playing at OV's. I went down to play, enjoyed it, but they gave us free food after the game. You know the hot dogs?
Yeah.
They gave us like free food and hot dogs, and I would stay for ages afterwards just collecting all
everybody's hot dogs.
That was the pull. The food was the pull, was
exactly. That was the grand plan for my mum. She was like, "You give me free food, so just go there and eat." But no, it was good, and then I just enjoyed it. And I just stayed, and then again, I say 13. That was when I was 9. I say 13 because that's when Sarries sent me an email to say I had a 6-week trial in the academy.
Wow. So what position were you first off?
Prop.
Too many hot dogs.
It was too many of the free hot dogs. But,
what do you? You're 6'7", 6'8"?
I'm 6'7" now. Yeah.
6'7". So where were you playing? Loose head, tight head?
I was playing tight head. I was
at 6'7".
No. When I was 13. So when I was 13, I was like 6'3", maybe 6'2". No, 6'2". So no, 6
Still
foot.
tall.
6 foot. So I was tall, yeah. But like I wasn't too tall. But yeah, maybe too many hot dogs, and I was able to lock it down at tight head. And then I had a growth spurt, and then I transitioned kind of into second row. I played centre for a little bit, but I wasn't that good. I wasn't good enough with my hands. Like those guys.
Don't tell him that. Anybody can play centre.
No, I was like a crash ball like kind of player. But I got in when I was 13, and then ever since I just kind of stayed there. I guess I stayed with Sarries. Was in the academy, and then luckily I got a contract when I was 18. They told a few of us. So my age mates, Benno, Max.
Max Malins.
Max Malins.
Yeah.
So they told a few of us early when we were 17 that we were going to be kept on.
Oh, brilliant! What did that feel like? Because first of all, let's go back to the email. Where you get an email, you want to be in the academy. What was the feelings back then?
That's actually a great question, because my mum, she was like crying because it was such a big opportunity, you know. And usually speaking, like when you're in our situation when we were growing up, we didn't really have a lot. You know, you don't get handed golden opportunities to make something of yourself. So I remember my mum was crying and she was like, you have to do this. And then there'll be multiple like Monday nights for the academy training. Where I'd be like, Mum, I'm shattered, I can't go today. And then she would sit me down and be like, listen, you have to do this. Like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You don't get given stuff like this. You know, you have to understand it. Even though you're young, you have to understand what kind of opportunity this is, and that stuck with me till now, forever.
It's incredible, isn't it? Because all the success and I suppose getting selected, everyone forgets. Like, your family go through it with you. They live it every single moment with you as well, and it's just as big it is for you as it is for them.
They feel everything. You know, like it hasn't been like the easiest of ride. There's been a lot of up and downs. Selected, not selected, in the black zone where you're not in, and then you know, even with the club a bit, sometimes it goes up and down. But they're always there, and one thing I always be grateful for is how they've been able to absorb a lot of the stuff, because it's frustration. There's a lot of frustration that builds up sometimes. You know, sometimes when you're in the thick of it and when you're there, you kind of get tunnel vision. You get like so obsessed with being in a certain position that you kind of forget about a lot of other stuff that's going on. And they've been, my family, since I've been young, have just been great at putting it into perspective, but also absorbing it and understanding, like, when I maybe need space. When I maybe need a bit of like a stern word, you know. A
lot of that is, you know what I mean, when you go there and when you think you don't want to go training, and then they've got to drive you, innit? You know what I mean? And it's the little things like that, and it's the food around it, you know, the amount of food, because, you know, as a 13, 14, 15, you grow in, and, you know, you said you had the growth spurt, and you say you're coming from a council estate where you didn't have a lot, but the amount you eat, you know, people some people take that for granted, don't they?
I know. My mum used to do her head in, because I just used to. But what was nice is that I had 3 sisters. I have 3 sisters, so all the stuff that they wouldn't eat, I would eat. So it was like my mum didn't have to worry too much. I was getting enough.
Finish it all off.
I got 2 brothers, and they used to pinch off my plate. You get told then at 17 that you're going to get the professional contract. What did that feel like?
That was great for me. It was great for me. The school hated it because they were like, he's not going to work anymore. He's going to stop school. But no, that was incredible. And just kind of the years that you dedicate to being in that position, like, they come to fruition, you know. And obviously it's just a senior academy contract, but you're put in a professional environment. You're put in a professional environment, and you have to become a professional as quickly as you possibly can. And you're getting the day-to-day S&C, you're getting nutritionists telling you how to better yourself, you're getting coaches looking at every single training session and coming in the next day with little fixes. You just get so much better, and you become a professional. And it was incredible. It was an incredible feeling. It was a learning curve, because you're like, this is okay. Well, these are the best players in the world, you know.
And at Saracens, the success the Saracens have had is incredible. You think of the Premiership titles, you think of the European titles. You come in through, and you've got a group of players there. Who is your inspiration coming through?
You know what? There were so many players, like big players, international players at the time, but it didn't feel like that. Like, it was because everybody was trying to get to the same point. Everybody wanted to win. Everybody was competitive, and you just had to develop that competitive spirit, and you would have been fine at the time. But like, 𝗲 obviously still is massive. He's a legend at our club. But the way that he would drive standards, and you're a 17, 18-year-old coming in and seeing these fully fledged England internationals, Billy, Mako, 𝗢𝗧 𝗵𝗲, you know, like these fully fledged England internationals showing you the way of how it's supposed to be. It was always team first. It was always, how do we get better? How do we improve every day? And training would be crazy. Training would be like obviously game intensity, but the standards that they drove, even if you were a young kid, you had to be at that level. And
what's it like having Owen Farrell back now?
They're brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Is he the biggest Sarries legend? Because there's a few, isn't there?
Don't mention yourself.
Other than yourself. No, there's no one big. There's no one bigger. There's no one. I think that the way that he drives a team, the way that he drives standards, is just there's no comparison in my opinion. And to have him back now is.
Do you give any stick about the Lions tour?
Nah. I don't say too much. I try to stay away from those conversations. But he's been. It's kind of like, for me, it's just where we left off. You know, like him being the leader of the team, the fly half, the general, was all I really knew anyway.
Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of like, okay, well, this is just this is just a standard that we need to uphold, I guess.
Yeah, from the outside looking in, there could be a perception of a lot of egos. You know, a lot of these guys, they've been Lions, they've been captains of their country, but knowing rugby and knowing the team that you are, and you always talk about team first, and it's all team first. That couldn't be further from the truth, could it?
As in the egos?
Yeah.
No. Like we have to understand that, like, no individual. As much as I gave Faz his plaudits, he's a great player and a great individual, but he drives the standards of the team.
Yeah.
So him being the way he is, it drives the standard of the team, and that's all you want to be. You want to be part of a team that functions well. You want to have all the key components moving well, and you have to apply yourself not only on the field but with your professionalism, how you are with your analysis, like how you prepare. And everything feeds into what the team want to be, which is obviously successful. And unfortunately, obviously, the last 2 years we've fallen a bit short, which has been, a bit annoying. Actually, not a bit annoying, very annoying, and it's been, like gnawing at us a little bit. But again, everything we go back to is how we can be better for the team.
You're going through a rebuilding stage a little bit because you lost a lot of players, didn't you? All around the sort of same sort of time.
A little bit. A lot of key voices as well in the team, which was difficult. But everything is organic. Everything is like myself, Ben, Max, players like that, Andy Christie. We grew up here. We know we know what the standards are. We know what we have to do and how we have to be and how we have to act. And there's no shortcuts to that. There's no shortcuts to what we want to do and how we want to be. It's just been a bit frustrating that we haven't been able to.
Has your role changed, do you think, a bit in the club?
Yeah.
Since, the more mature you get, the more of a voice, maybe the more of a leader you got to be.
Yeah, a little bit. There's definitely more responsibility. Before it was kind of like monkey see, monkey do. Just tell me what I need, how high I need to jump, and I'll jump, kind of thing. Like, but now obviously with everybody moving on, George moved on quite early actually in my career. George 𝗀𝗧.
Yeah.
But the amount that I learnt from him in terms of organising, bit of CBD investments as well, business. He's a bit of a maestro in the business world now, but like just from like a line-out perspective, so I'm 27 now. A lot of the young guys are 18, 19, because of the way that I guess the league is. These young guys will have to play. They'll have to step up.
Yeah.
So I find myself trying to guide people a little bit more, which when I think about it,
does it come naturally to you?
I try my best.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it comes naturally. I don't think so. But it's weird because honestly, for so long, it was just do as you're told.
Yeah.
Like do as you're told. Do what you need to do. Know your role. Whereas now. And I guess with experience and with knowledge, you gain knowledge and you can pass that on. And again, I say there's a lot of like younger players that potentially need to be guided, I guess.
When you were coming through, you had so much experience to learn from. If you could give a piece of advice to somebody that you learned, what would that advice be to a 13-year-old Nick?
To a 13-year-old,
coming through, and
I would say like confidence in yourself. You have to have a deep understanding of what. So again, learn as much as you can, but then have confidence with it. So the more assured you can be, and the more you can give yourself that confidence, the more other people are going to believe in you to put you in certain situations. And I'm seeing it with a lot of the young guys now. They don't lack confidence. They don't lack confidence, which is good. But again, like the learning.
As long as you can back it up.
The learning, and to make sure that you are diligent with everything. And then you're just free, and then the coaches can see that, and then you get put in positions to be given opportunities, and that's what I think I would say, just the confidence.
Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender.
You're 27 years old. You've won, I think it's 3 Premiership titles.
Yeah,
is that right?
I think so.
What about Europe?
One of those.
One of those as well.
One of those. Yeah.
Do you have a favourite season? Is there one season you think?
Don't say Northampton.
that was good. I did enjoy that. Too. But
it can't get any better than this.
The 2017-2018, where we lost to Leinster in the quarterfinal, but we had loads of injuries. I think Blair Cowan started for us, and he came on loan from London Irish. Do you guys remember that game?
Yeah.
At the Aviva, so that was a quarter-final. So we lost that, and we lost 8 games in a row in the Prem, or Prem Cup and Prem. I think it was the LV Cup at the time, or the Anglo-Welsh. Yeah. So we lost as a club, and we were going through a bit of a dark phase. We were like, Jesus, I think we might be a bit shit. And so we lost 8 games in a row, and then all of a sudden, I think maybe our injuries came, like everyone became fit again. But that was my second season as a professional. And then I remember we got to the playoffs, and Smalley, Mark McCall, who's our head coach, obviously.
Why Smalley?
I don't know. You guys are going to have to ask me that one. I don't know.
It's above your pay grade.
Something to do with the showers.
That's not my jurisdiction. But he put, as we were walking out to training, I was going to start against Wasps in the semi-final, and obviously I was 19, 18, and like I think Michael Rhodes was on the bench, and he came up to me. He's like, "You deserve this. Well done. You've had a good season. Basically done everything I've been told." And you're going to start in the semi, and then we beat Wasps. I remember my dad was sat next to Mara's dad in that game. It was quite funny looking up. My dad doesn't come to many games. He only comes to the big games. He doesn't really bother with the
little ones. He doesn't, but not every week.
He's not there every week.
Does he support Man U as well?
We're Chelsea. We're both Chelsea. But you know what? When the strange thing is with my dad, right, is that when I get Chelsea midweek games, he's there. Yes, we're going to Chelsea. When I'm saying, like, listen, we've got a Saturday game in November.
Newcastle home.
No, he's like, no, son, I'm busy. Which is crazy. But I remember they were sat together, and then we won that game, played well, and then we had Exeter in the final, and then he said I was going to start again, and we won it.
What was the nerves like? What was it? You started in your big final.
I didn't sleep the night before the game.
Did you?
In that first, when I didn't sleep, and I came off with cramp at 65 minutes. I remember Faz looking at me, like, what are you doing? Like, how can you come off with a cramp? I was like, you were cramping too. And he was on the bench, he came off. I didn't say that at the time. That's what I was thinking.
He was trying to deny it, was he? Fine.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't say it. But I genuinely didn't sleep the night before a game. I was so nervous. I didn't tell anyone, because I was just like, you know what, I'll just get on with it. I'll just do it. That's kind of how I am as a person. I'll just get on with it. But it's probably to my detriment. But
But it's funny. It's funny because everything building up to that from that 13-year-old and then getting the academy contract and then playing in your first Twickenham final and the mind. You know what I mean? You're so excited. You can't, like you say, you can't even sleep. And then you get there and you think, oh shit! I wish I had 8 hours.
Like what was I doing last night? That's so stupid. I actually thought that in the morning, but I wasn't. It wasn't even like I was tired. I was again adrenaline, excitement. Like the big final, oh man, it was so cool. It was.
I bet you didn't sleep much the night after either.
No, I didn't sleep for the next 5 days. we went on the England tour to South Africa in 2018. It wasn't the day after; it was the day after that. Yeah. So like usually the Saturday when we win is like friends and family, everyone mixed into a venue, and then the next day it's just the lads and the staff.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it was 2018, but yeah, that ended up being a big day that Sunday.
They're the best, aren't they? Because it's all that year of hard work, and then you win something, and it's the day after. You've had a couple of beers. It's the beers on the Sunday is just the best in the world.
Everyone's a little bit giddy. Yeah. Everyone's just excited. It's
always one person as well, isn't it? Like Alex Good, like in his kit or something like that.
And he stank as well, you know.
Yeah.
You know that European Cup where he stank.
𝗢{ 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗥cie Bath, wasn't he? He was in his
I don't know how
Speedos.
He smelled, but I can only speak for 𝗬𝗓, and 𝗬𝗓 absolutely stank. And he was in it for 3 days. I couldn't believe it. I showed up to his house. I was like, no way. Are you still in your kit?
What's the biggest rivalry for you now at Saracens? Is it anyone that's won the Prem the year before, or is there one team that you have to beat?
I always, you know, the team that's always like doing well that year. You know, there's always one team that's like high flying.
Yeah.
I always love that game. Like from a personal point of view, at the outside we'll say like Harlequins, London Derby. Obviously, we want to.
Exeter's another one as well.
Exeter used to be. There used to be blood boiling for that game. In recent years, it's kind of changed to like, for me, whoever's up there.
Leicester, Northampton, Bath.
Yeah. You want to play against those teams, but Quins is always like innate just because of location and London Derby. Yeah. And we obviously want to be the team. You guys have seen the rebrand. Yeah. With the team of North London.
So talk us through that, because you were heavily involved, weren't you, in the rebrand?
I'm trying my best, but obviously like. Times have changed a little bit, I think, and I think as an organisation, as a club, you know, we want to be in the digital age, as it were. You know, we want to be creating content, and when you look, I know it's like kind of a bit of an American model, but when you look at the NFL and the Premier League football, they kind of follow an Americanish style content in the way in which they engage the fans and the fan base, and I think we want to be as engaging to the fan base that we have. We also want to reach out to other people that might not be interested in rugby, but they might be interested in, I don't know, a certain personality we've got at the club. They might be interested in a player. They might be interested in something other than just the product, because the product will always be the product, and we'll always, as players, we'll always be diligent. We'll always make sure that that's the first thing comes first, and that's the rugby. But again, times are changing and media is taking over.
Well, when people think about rebrands, they think you're going to change your colour, you're going to change your shirt, you're going to change the badge, but you're not doing anything like that. It's a mindset, isn't it? It's about being North London. It's about being the North London massive.
We are North London. We are here. The slogan, built here, we're still here. So that is the thing that we want to ring true and kind of not take ownership of North London, but make sure people realise that that's where we're at, and then also make it a bit more interesting to be a rugby player. Like, what is it that we do? What do we get up to? What is the behind the scenes a little bit more like, you know, like
which the NFL do so well.
Yeah, because they wear helmets, but everybody knows who they are.
Yeah.
And obviously we have superstars in our sport, which is great, which is absolutely fantastic. But there's not loads, and also like. From a club perspective, all the clubs want to be their own entities, and they want to be standalone and create superstars. And to do that, obviously, you need to put things out there. And it's a collaboration between the club and the players, because, like we said it just then, the NFL players, they wear a helmet when they play their sport.
Yeah.
Nobody can see their face, but everybody knows who they are because of the way that
Marketing.
they're branded. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what we're saying is.
So you're going to be out and about more often. You're going to have your face on billboards. You're going to have your face on the tube, and you're going to get yourself out there.
We joke about it, but I wouldn't mind a billboard.
Right, here's a question: if you could have a billboard, if you could have a Nick Isiekwe billboard, where would you put it?
I'm
Not outside the house.
Nah, you know what?
China Whites.
I would nah. You know what? I would like. You know those big ones on Leicester Square. I'd love that.
Oh man, we've got to make it happen.
If they can in this whole rebrand, I'd love it.
Do you think, I asked you a question about who's your biggest rival. Do you think Saracens is a lot of other clubs' biggest rival because of what you achieved? Do you think a lot of other clubs are just desperate to beat Saracens?
I think so. You know what? I think that is the case. And I think that's just because of how long it was. Maybe the sustained success.
Yeah.
And I think we definitely felt that at the start of the whole rebuild, or when a lot of the older senior statesmen of the club left. We definitely felt that because teams don't lose that. I don't think teams lose that hatred very easily.
It galvanises you as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. And again, like even with Northampton when they won it, you know, when you become successful and you get in that realm of winning, it's like a cup final every week. You know, like the year after, teams are coming for you.
Yeah.
And that was for a long time. That's just how it was. That's just how it was. And you know, teams will try and have their best games, and that's normal. That's just how it is. But maybe that's died down a little bit in recent years.
Could you imagine playing for a team that people liked you from the opposition? You'd be tamping, wouldn't you? What do you mean? What do you mean you like us?
No.
You want to be hated because that brings respect, and that brings the fact that
Exactly.
you know you're good, and you're good at your job.
And you have to be at your best every week.
Yeah.
You have to be. You can't drop below a 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. Like not 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Like you have to be at your best, and that's what you want to be. You want to be consistently playing well as a player, and that's what it demands of you, I guess, when everyone's gunning for your head.
Right, tell me, one of the hardest things that you've ever had to go through was your open heart surgery.
Yeah.
And when I read that, I couldn't believe it. Because you have a look, you're a picture of health. You're a big man. You're a physical man. You look like.
Thank you. You're trying to make me blush now. On
no,
camera.
man. But you know what I mean.
You're like a Marvel hero.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You're like North London Marvel man. You know what I mean. You have a look at that.
Thank you very much.
What happened? And how did you find out that you needed open heart bypass?
Honestly, bypass. It wasn't quite a bypass.
What was it?
So I couldn't believe it either. To be honest, So I'm trying to think about the timeline. So it was 2021, and we'd just come back from COVID, and COVID knocked me for 6. I was in a bad way with COVID, but then the effects lasted for a long time.
So long COVID.
But then we had the cry screening, which we have every year or every 2 years, which is where they check over your heart. And basically, they were like, we want to do some more investigation because you're having short breath, you're getting short of breath during exercise. But it was nothing to do with my heart. I think it was just the long COVID or whatever, because that's a lung thing.
Yeah.
So they did further investigations, and they saw that my aorta had a defect. There was something wrong, but they couldn't quite see it properly because of the ultrasound machine. It's not as clear. So I went in for further checks, and then I went in for an MRI. This is about 3 or 4 months later, and then they saw that basically my aorta was dilated by 7 millimeters or something. So it's supposed to be 3.9 centimeters. It was 4.7 at peak exercise. So I went in for like a bike test.
Yeah. Jesus.
So that's too much. That's way beyond the threshold. Yeah. So I then went in to see one of the specialists, and he was like, "Nah, you're done. Like, we have to keep an eye on this, and you can't continue playing." Yeah. To which I was like, "No way," because I don't have any symptoms. I'm all right. Yeah. So we kept on going through the process. I played the 2021-2022 season out, we get to the final. I'll put my hands up. I played like shit in that game, in that final against Leicester. Do you remember that game? Sorry,
I remember that game. I don't remember you playing like shit.
It was like 12. Freddie Burns kicked that.
That's right.
Do you remember that final?
Yeah.
And I had a terrible game. I remember, but I still get picked to go to Australia in 2022 on the tour. And I came in, and Eddie told me I played like shit, which is fair enough. I was like, you know what, Eddie, you're right. But he still picked me to go, and he said, you know, I trust you. I played every game in the Six Nations in 2022 before. So we go on tour, and then I play in the last Test match. Like, we win the Test series. Like, I'm so happy. I'm like on top of the moon. We come back. I have a meeting with the first specialist, and they say that like you can't do a deadlift. But I just played in the Test match.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, like I just played in the Test match. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, what do you mean I can't do a deadlift? I played a Test match last week.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, you're at high risk of it rupturing, and when your aorta ruptures, you bleed out internally.
That's
and it's catastrophic.
Yeah.
And
Can't put a plaster on that, can you?
you're done. So
You're like a doctor.
They're saying all this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, okay, well, it's quite doom and gloom at the moment. And then Dr. Colonel Austin, who's an Irish bloke, and this is before the World Cup. This is the World Cup's in 2023. Yeah. He's like, listen, I support Ireland.
Oh, good start.
I'm like, oh, brilliant. This is great. I'm being told
Let's
I
get
can't
out
play.
first.
Yeah. And he's like, but I've got a surgery here, and it will get you back for the World Cup. Even though I support Ireland, I'll do it. And I was like, don't worry about the World Cup. Let's just talk about this. So basically, the alternative to this surgery that I had was a valve replacement, which means you get a mechanical valve and you're on blood thinners for the rest of your life. You can't do contact sport. You're done. He was like, I can put. You guys have seen a Truby grip, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Where you basically put it over your knee and you stop swelling.
We used to play with them.
So, so
I had the whole body one.
elbows, knees.
Yeah. So basically, he was like, listen, you put a synthetic mesh around your valve, which brings it in, and it supports it so it doesn't dilate anymore.
Bloody hell.
I was like,
So literally taped your heart up.
Taped my heart together. He basically like taped around my valve.
That's what you've got now.
That's what I've got in there right now.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, when we finish this, when they come in, I'll show you this car.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, but I was so thankful, and then.
So everybody talks about mental health and everything. I can't think of anything worse than somebody, you break a leg, your leg repairs, you tear a ligament repairs, somebody saying I'm going to tape your heart up and then bang, don't worry, I'm Irish, you can get out there and play, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
what's going through your mind?
To be honest, it was difficult. It was difficult. There were some times where I was like, shit, I don't know, like this is hard to get my head around, but then because this is like kind of your only option. Yeah. You're like, right, well, this is a shit situation, but I'm gonna make the best of this situation, because that's what we've always done as a family growing up. Like, it's not always gonna be like as easy as you want it to be. Yeah. And that's just life. That's what we realised growing up. But again, the situation is the situation. And that's just what you're dealt. And I do get worried for people that go through this stuff. And I've spoken to a lot of people that have been through this to try and reassure them. But when you're from a sport background, you can take it as an injury. Yeah. You can take it as like, all right. So
really, if it wasn't for Colonel Austin, you wouldn't be playing now.
I wouldn't have played again. Or it would be under investigation every 3 months, and I can't sit in an MRI machine for two and a half hours.
Well, you don't fit
being told.
For a start.
I don't fit for a start, but then you have to breathe in every 30 seconds and hold your breath, and it was like 2.5 hours of doing that. But if it wasn't for him, and if it wasn't for the surgery that he offered, it was revolutionary. It's only 20 years old. It's been done 1,500 times around the world,
which is nothing, is it?
Yeah. But that's why I'm such an advocate for it now. Yeah. And I think that it's so much different. It's when you have a valve replacement, that's life altering. Yeah. Because you have to be on blood thinners there's a lot of complications with blood thinners, and there's a lot of complications with the valve and your body accepting it. And this is an alternative that is a lot cleaner. Obviously, it's still open heart surgery, but there's a lot less that can go wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But after that, even after that, right? You've had the surgery. You've recovered from the surgery, let's say.
Yeah.
Then you've got all the first, haven't you? You've got your first session back.
Yeah.
And then you got your first
Jesus.
contact back, and then you got your first game back, and then what was going through your mind with all those firsts then, with the unknown really?
I was nervous.
First deadlift.
He said Colonel was a bit blasé. He's a bit blasé about a lot of things, and he was like, "Listen, you're going to be my guinea pig. I don't know how this is going to go." And I'm like, "Right, that's brilliant." So, no problem, I guess. But it was a weird, maybe 6 to 7 months after the surgery, because you go from like not being able to move your torso to then drastically 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, like, oh right, I feel all right, but not all right.
Yeah.
And then you go and do weights, and then you start getting your strength back up. But because of how much bulk you've lost, it just takes a long time to even get that bulk back. But I didn't have a long time, because needs must in rugby.
Yeah.
You don't really. It's you're only like 2 injuries away from being needed, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember Maro went down with a concussion. So there was a week where it was like, can you, you know, like, do you know what I mean?
Did you tell him he's only got a concussion?
No,
I've had open heart surgery.
No, I did say like.
Not that we take concussion lightly.
Yeah,
obviously, concussion is very
no,
serious.
No, but like I said like I could, but can I maybe need another week of training and to get roughed up a little bit more, you know. But then the first game we played London Irish on the 22nd of December 2022. Yeah. So the surgery was in September, so it was 4 months. In hindsight, I should have taken probably 6 months, but it was 4 months. 4 months after the surgery.
You were playing after 4 months?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was a bit silly.
Put a pad on, Scott?
I had a little bit of a pad on, yeah, but I remember in the warm-up we hit a scrum, and the pressure, because you've been opened up like that, you know, and then the pressure is like, it's squeezing your, like the chest cavity.
Yeah.
I remember there was like a searing pain in the incision, in the scar, where they cracked my sternum open. I was like, damn, I don't know if I'm, this is like, this. There was probably like a 2-minute period where I was just thinking in my head like,
I think I've gone too soon.
Is this right today?
Which is what you don't want to be thinking about in the middle of the game.
No. And then obviously I played 80 minutes. I don't know how. I watched that game back sometimes, and I'm like, you were so bad. You were so bad. But I just needed to do it, and you just don't know. You don't know until you know.
But you know, to go back to that was the best game.
Yeah.
Somebody 4 months after open heart surgery has ever played. So that's you were ultimately the best ever person 4 months after the.
Probably got a medal.
No. Well, to be fair, we got a medal at the end of that year. That was in 2023, and I remember Mark McCall, Smalley. I remember he said like. He came up to me and he was so happy. He doesn't really come up to me, and he's not really happy like that usually. But like he was so filled with like genuine joy because of what I came through to be there for the team, I guess.
Oh, that's wicked.
And then to win it in 2023 and to come out of that year with a medal.
It's funny how you remember stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you played the game and you remember Mark McCall coming up to you with a smile on his face, which you don't normally see.
Yeah, because it's just nice sometimes. Yeah. It's just nice like that, like, and you know when you just see joy on people's faces, like what you've been through is for those moments.
Yeah.
It's for those like little.
Yeah.
Because like winning is obviously, I guess it's everything, but it's not everything at the same time. But just to see that sheer emotion of joy and happiness in people is incredible. It's like, I enjoy winning, but I enjoy enjoying those moments with everybody just as much as just the winning part. And that moment was special. And then to see my family as well, oh my goodness.
Well, you're recovered well now.
Do you think you've changed since the operation?
I think that the whole process, maybe appreciate what we're doing a bit more.
Yeah. Having nearly lost it.
Yeah, the guys will probably contest that and say I sometimes can be a bit miserable, but being in the second row is not the easiest.
It's not a happy place, mate.
It's a bit of a dark place sometimes, but no, I think it definitely makes me appreciate just life in general.
Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender.
What's the hunger like now to get back into international rugby? Because you toured in Argentina.
Yeah.
I mean, is it in the back of your mind? Is it in the front of your mind? Are you just concentrating on Saracens? Where's your head at?
It's interesting. That is an interesting question you ask. I think that I need to enjoy playing at the club. I need to enjoy being there, and I need to enjoy the process in which we go through to be able to win. And that's just what I need to think about. I think before, I've always been kind of, I guess, looking over my shoulder. I've always been playing, not playing within myself, but like thinking way too much about what other people are thinking about me, I guess, as a player.
Yeah.
I think now that I'm getting to maybe not the back end of my career, but the second half of my career, as it were, I'm probably gonna not care less, but think less. And I think that's, and then I'm happy. The people around me can be happy, and I'm not as frustrated every day. Yeah. I think that's the main thing.
I think I want to go on to England and now getting selected for England and everything like that. But I just wanted to find out first of all, Colonel Austin. How many tickets has he asked for the England Ireland game?
You know what? I actually didn't play in that game that year, and he was so pissed off. He was like, "Are you kidding me? I did this surgery so I could get England versus Ireland tickets for the next 10 years." But I was like, "Mate, I'm so sorry. It doesn't work like that. I've just got to play better, I guess." But no, he comes to all the games. I remember we played. Who was it? Like Australia, he came to Australia game in the autumn, just gone, where they scored that last minute try, and then he came to the Japan game.
So he's really milking it, really, isn't he?
He is milking it a little bit, yeah.
Fantastic.
And I always bring him up as well.
He's overstayed his welcome, isn't he?
No. He's always welcome.
What's the plans then for Saracens this year? Any targets?
We always want to be there. We always want to be there. We always want to be in the mix to be able to. I guess with the way it works, you put yourself in position to be successful at the end of the year. And we were far too inconsistent last year. This year, we just want to take it week by week. And I know that's cliche, but that is literally how we've spoken about it. Like
going to halves, yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. But again, starting from zero each week. Starting from zero, whether we've won or lost, the process remains the same, and the effort required around everything, again with the analysis, the professionalism, that doesn't slack off just because we've lost or just because we've won. It remains the same, and that's what's going to put us in the best position come May, and then again, come those big games, we have to stand up. We have to stand up because the year before that we lost to Northampton in the semi, and we didn't stand up in the big game, and that was again frustrating.
It hurts.
It does. It leaves little scars, I guess.
Anyone looking sharp in pre-season?
Who's been looking sharp? Noah, young Noah. I think he's going to be obviously a young player. He hasn't got it all worked out, and he'll have a lot of stuff to work. Noah Kalori.
Okay.
Young fella just came in, but he's looking good. He's looking good. His aerial work is something that I've not really seen before. I can't. Yeah.
Even with Goody. Goody
wasn't a maestro under the high. He was good under the high ball, but he was more evasive.
Yeah.
This lad is something else
Is he?
under the high ball. I've never seen anything quite like it.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah. And hopefully he gets to run out in the coming weeks. And then you know what? 𝗧has has looked good since coming back. Ferg the fly off.
He feels like he's home though, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, I think he's happy.
I saw him in Dublin, and I said, and he'd just come back then. and he's had a bit of stick off the old French hierarchy out there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how much you get paid or whatever. Unless you're happy where you are, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, I mean, he's probably going to play his best stuff, and with all due respect to him, like, we don't get younger as rugby players, you know, and you just want to enjoy it, and you want to be happy. Your family has to be happy, and I think he's happy to be back home, and I guess we're happy to have him back. But he's looking sharp, like, a lot of different combinations. But they're
And are you happy?
I'm happy. You know what? I'm happy to be playing again.
Yeah.
That's the most thoughtful you've ever been on the podcast.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I mean, I can fake it with the best of them, don't worry. Talk about hearts, I haven't even got one.
That's brilliant. That's good. That's a start, I guess.
I'd have lost it. He'll never see for your Shanks. Take us back to, we talk a lot about Saracens and that, but of course international rugby is a huge part of it as well, and we had a little chat before we started earlier about the frustration of not playing in Argentina and America. But take us back to the first time that you got into, because I love listening to people when they get their first call up for an international side. You called up, you're in that international side, you get your first cap. What are those feelings like for you?
It was bizarre, because Eddie, you'll hear loads of stories about how Eddie used to operate. So, like, but then basically he, I didn't know. I found out on social media that I was going to go to Argentina.
Really?
When the squad came out. But then Charlotte, who is the player manager at still the player manager now, she called me with the logistics, and then Eddie called me. Eddie called me like the day after the announcement.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Do the accent if you want.
No, I can't do the accent. It's terrible. But he was like, mate, fireworks still in the bag. Fireworks still in the bag, and he was talking about something about my breakdown work,
Right.
like not being dynamic enough. And I was like, no, I'll make sure I get them out the bag.
Really?
Like, yeah, I didn't have a clue.
You didn't have a clue what he was talking about.
But like, this is like a young kid. I'm 18. I'm like, this is the England head coach. I need to be as respectful as I can be. I don't know if he's joking or not. If he's being serious. I was like, you know what? No. I'm gonna take. Don't worry. I'm gonna take the fireworks out of the bag.
I'm gonna buy new fireworks.
Which ones do you want? I can go and get some, like, you know, the big rocket ones, the dragon rocket ones.
Commercial fireworks.
No,
And you get some sparklers as well.
Exactly. But then no. So, and then he rang me the day after, and he was like, just congratulations. I'm gonna bring you on tour. And then I was on the bench for both games, and I got on for one of them, and I remember I gave a little pass for Denny Salomona to score that try.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I don't know. It's a long time ago now, but it was like a 3-on-2 down the short side, and I gave it to Launchbury, and then Launchbury gave it to Denny. Then he ran down the wing, and we won that test. And I remember he was so happy.
Yeah.
The only two times he's been that happy with me is when I came on in 2022 against Australia, and that day. Otherwise, it's quite mixed bag.
Didn't speak to you.
It's quite a mixed bag, yeah. But we had a good relationship.
But being 18 and being on a tour with England and with you know the legends, was it easy that a lot of the Saracens boys were there?
They weren't there. They were on the Lions tour.
Oh, were they?
They
were on your own.
I was actually.
So you were a bag of fireworks on your own.
Yeah, Loz was there, but Loz was younger than he is now.
Yeah.
But Loz was young then, and then who else from Sarries came? I think it was just me and Loz. I can't actually remember. I probably. Yeah, it was just me and Loz. And Loz was new to Sarries anyway, so he was young, but.
So how did you? So on the other hand, how did you feel out of your comfort zone then? With, you know what I mean, with a lot of players you hadn't seen before and everything.
A little bit. But we were like the national development program players.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but there was like a lot of young players that went on that tour from the 20s that didn't go in the 20s World Cup. Yeah. So we got a bit of stick from the older fellas. But we just, you do your time. You do your time when you're young.
I'm sorry about that, but I was in New Zealand with the Lions.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Next time.
But how did it feel? You've got the caps under your belt and everything, and then you get back in and you go to Argentina. You don't get picked. Is that now the burning desire? Is to get that jersey back?
You know what? The burning desire that I have right now is to be successful here again, because we've missed out for too long now from where we want to be as a club.
Yeah.
And for the success that we've had in the past and for what we've done, you know, I feel like sometimes we owe it to a lot of the players that have gone before us to carry on that legacy.
Yeah.
And that frustrates me. That frustrates me not on a daily basis, but whenever I think about it, it's so irritating. So that's like the burning desire that I have.
So do you feel because you've come through that, you've got a European medal, you've got 3 premierships behind you, but do you feel that because of the players that came before you and the players that are coming through now, it's your responsibility to say to those players, look, this is our standard?
Yeah, and I don't want that to stop. I want everybody to understand what it's like to be in those big finals and to win those big finals and to have that success and then to continue doing it, because that's what you want to do, and everyone that plays sport wants to be involved in those occasions, but there's a process at which you get there. And then again, if I do well enough to be able to play for England, then that will happen, but that's out of my hands, you know.
Well, you're happy and you're healthy. And that's probably the most important thing.
And smiling. I
it's great to see you back fit.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can I just say,
great. Good luck for the rest of the season.
You can show it's been an amazing interview because we're driving around a car park and they want to finish it. So you've been outstanding, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me, and it's exciting, huh? Hopefully the rebrand goes right.
Hopefully it doesn't flop,
hang on, is it North London Massive?
Yeah, that's it.
There we are,
Zoom in on that. You got to
North London Massive.